The challengers have criticised incumbent Sandra Hutchins for a policy on CCWs, permits that allow citizens to carry a concealed weapon. They can hardly have anticipated that it would lead one young man to jump to his death. Anaheim's stadium lofts have reached for the oldest tool in the marketer's kit box, deep discounts. When Cadillac release an Escalade hybrid, that's a sign that times certainly have changed. But on the late evening of Wednesday, October 29th, for 3 Santa Ana College journalists, it wasn't a case of reporting the news. It was a case of being the news.
And there was a guy standing at the bus stop, and he had a gun.
And then?
And then he said, "Give me your money, man."
He showed you the gun?
Yes.
And you're laughing about it now, but presumably you were terrified.
Yeah.
I have been doing Mr. Lincoln now 27 years plus. Yes. This is it's a way that we teach history.
But at some point, the teaching has to stop and the fighting has to start. And while we're here, US troop movements are still under consideration, however, to answer concerns that the rampant drug violence roiling our southern neighbor will spill over into the US. California elections went better for the Democrats. In the closely watched governor race, Democrat Jerry Brown easily defeated Republican Meg Whitman by 54% to 41%, despite Whitman spending over $150 million of her eBay fortune. The South Coast Repertory Theatre in Costa Mesa has a new artistic director, Mark Masterson, who leaves his current role in Kentucky to move to the OC. In these difficult economic times, it may be hard to find an enjoyable yet inexpensive outing, but we did. Let me give you a hint. It involves art. Our reporter, Gustavo Carrillo, tells us all about it. 60-year-old Anaheim resident Lonnie Dotson led police on a merry dance Monday, screeching through service streets, the 91 freeway and the I-5 for an entire hour before being cornered in his hometown by several patrol cars, manned by over a dozen police officers. Dotson is expected to be charged with assault with a deadly weapon for crashing into a police car during the chase, as well as hit and run and possibly DUI. Yes, it's the Real Housewives of Orange County. First up, cast member Alexis Bellino. She's rather nice looking, isn't she? Well, she got some good news recently as JP Morgan Chase cancelled foreclosure on her home. Bellino's attorney claimed that there never was any chance of a foreclosure, but reports suggest that Chase had been pursuing the action for some months. Octomom Nadia Suleiman offered furniture, tyres and even a nursing bra in a yard sale at a La Habra home that attracted the curious and the bargain hunters. One thing's for sure about the candidates for Orange County Sheriff, they have plenty of experience.
Well, I spent 25 years in law enforcement.
32 years of law enforcement experience.
I have 32 years of experience.
The challengers have criticised incumbent Sandra Hutchins for a policy on CCWs, permits that allow citizens to carry a concealed weapon.
Initially, when she was appointed sheriff, she revoked many concealed weapon permits.
In the Second Amendment community, which is fed up with having an elected sheriff who doesn't respect our constitutional rights.
Well, here's the facts. It's been construed as she's anti-Second Amendment. It is not a Second Amendment issue. If you have a need for a concealed weapon, if your life is at risk or by virtue of your occupation, you're at greater risk than somebody else in the population, and you meet the criteria, we'll give you a concealed weapon permit.
And that's the key. When is a special threat? You know, you could be out here at your ready teller in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, and a special threat comes out of the dark. Or you could be sitting at an intersection at, Maine and Bristol and Santa Ana, and a special threat comes out to carjack you in your car.
The reality is, I have issued 90% of the requests for new or renewed concealed weapons permits.
Candidates have also sparred on what to do with people arrested for less serious crimes called misdemeanors.
And there is a policy in place there, and actually a state law that allows law enforcement to cite out certain individuals when they're arrested for misdemeanors. She's taken that to an extreme.
She failed to exercise the leadership and put public safety first.
Citing and releasing has been going on for some time, not just in this county, but in all counties. It is standard. If on a misdemeanor violation of some sort where there's no threat to the public, we arrest people and then we release them on their promise to appear.
What that means to a law enforcement person like myself is that when my officers make arrests, for instance on a serious drug offender, someone who may have a $300 to $500 a day drug habit, that person's back on the street in a matter of hours with a ticket.
Where are you going to put them? Where are you going to put all of these people? If we did not cite and release, our jail system would become flooded with misdemeanor inmates. We would not have room for the really bad guys, the ones that need to stay in jail, the violent felon suspects.
Craig Hunter stands by his record as deputy chief in Anaheim.
We are the safest of the top 10 cities in California. We're the safest resort community in America.
Bill Hunt offers himself as a protector of constitutional rights.
What could be more important for the sheriff? Somebody who arrests another drunk driver, or another pot smoker, or somebody who's looking out for our fundamental constitutional rights.
Sandra Hutchins points out her experience in the job.
I'm the only one who's been sheriff for the past 2 years and dealt with substantial challenges in the office from day one and have been successful at addressing every one of those challenges.
The election for Orange County Sheriff will take place on June the 8th. For Around and About Orange County News, I'm John Briginshaw. He is a Huntington Beach High School senior. He maintains a 4.55 GPA. He captains the school water polo team, and he was a finalist on ABC's Jeopardy! Teen Tournament. The answer, or rather in true Jeopardy style, the question, who is Andrew Kreitz? And how well did he do? How much did he win?
For placing second in the final, I did make $25,000, which I'm very pleased about.
But it wasn't all plain sailing, because although it's Teen Jeopardy, contestants still face the same Dostoevskian Grand Inquisitor, Alex Trebek.
But just getting up there with all the lights on you, the camera on you, Alex Trebek up there is still leaves you very nervous. It's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? The entire experience is, I want to say unnerving, but it just leaves you a little bit shaken up. Your palms are sweating, your pulse quickens. So
and that's not to mention his increasingly intrusive fan base.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
All right, compound with 4 chlorine atoms in it.
Oh, what's tetrachloride?
Or the threat from his water polo buddies.
Water polo can get pretty rough at times. It's hard to tell from the stands, but beneath the water there's a lot of kicking and wrestling.
And he's not just wrestling in the pool, he's wrestling with his desires. So now I'm sure the question that a lot of people will be asking, have you used your newfound fame on Teen Jeopardy to get girls?
Well, as useful as fame might be as leverage, I have to say that I have a girlfriend whom I've been going out with for almost a year, and I think that she would probably kill me if I attempted to use any of my newfound fame for that particular purpose.
You haven't even been tempted?
Well, admittedly I have been tempted here and there, but I would have to say that I've been pretty upright in maintaining my proper obligations, so to speak.
That's very good. Okay, from Huntington Beach High School, with Teen Jeopardy contestant Andrew Kreitz for Roundabout Orange County, I'm John Briginshaw.